round of presiding convener. Has the match to the winner for policy and advocacy. Thank you. Congratulations. The winner is the deputy convener. Yes. Mobilization. Congratulations. Thank you.
Abduction ikija, sote tuko tayari. Abduction ikija, na sote tuko tayari. Down with abduction, down. Down. Down with corruption, down. Down. Down with impunity, down. Down. Down with abduction, down. Down. Down with impunity, down. Down. Down with the GMO, down. Down. Down with the GMO, down. Down. I'm Sidio Tieno, the newly elected presiding convener for the Civil Society Reference Group. And thank you so much. I want to first of all thank all members of the CSRG across the country for overwhelmingly voting us in and giving us a mandate for the next 3 years. And I must say that it is a new dawn for the civil society and for the grassroots across the country. We have heard so many things that have been said, but we want to declare as the CSRG that this is a new dawn for the political movements in Kenya. For those who have been saying that the civil society is dead, we are telling them today that the civil society is now awake. Comrades, power. Power! For those who have been saying that the CSOs are silent, today we are announcing to them that it won't be business as usual. Secondly, we've heard about things like the broad-based government. I'm calling them things. Why am I calling them things? There's nothing in the Kenyan constitution called broad-based. And I want to say this, that we saw the 10-point agenda that was signed between ODM and UDA. All those issues are in the constitution. We don't need an accord between two political parties to implement the constitution. The right of assembly is in Article 37. We don't need an agreement with the political class for us to get that right. Issues like abductions, extrajudicial killings, the constitution is very clear that every Kenyan has a right to life. Yes. So the police in Kenya do not need an accord between two parties to stop killing Kenyans. And therefore, moving forward, we are going to follow all constitutional processes to ensure that we hold the government to account. One, we are looking at all the decisions that are being made by government without public participation. We have seen issues of debts, private and public debts. Recently, we heard that the parliament is planning to raise the debt ceiling of this country. We are telling the government that there is no country that has ever developed using debts. What we are telling the government, can you please reduce corruption by 30%? Yes. Just reduce it by 30%, and we will not need any debts. And that's why as CSRG and as allies, we are calling for an all-inclusive citizen debt audit. We want to know, who are we owing? What money? How much amount? Who decided that we borrow in the first place? Because you can't sit in your office and then go borrow money on behalf of Kenyans. We're also looking at the issue of the PBO Act, and you know that the PBO Act came in to repeal the colonial NGO Act. We're asking, why should a Kenyan who wants to register a PBO or an NGO to support women or youths, why do they have to go to the DCI? The DCI should be having information of all Kenyans. Does it mean that if I'm not registering, then they don't have my data? Why do you put community groups in Kangemi, in Mariwa, in Shikendu, who want to register a self-help group to be vetted by a chief? These are non-governmental organizations. The government has got no business coming to regulate the sector. So we're telling the government, we have the Community Groups Act. My colleagues have mentioned it. The PBO Act, it has been mentioned. The act is very clear that there should be consultation and cooperation between the PBOs and the government. We have heard that the government is already appointing people in the board, the federation, without the participation of the PBOs and the people. I'm hearing they're saying that, because we are only consulting the NGOs, or we are only consulting those who want to join. What we are saying is that not only the NGOs who are supposed to participate in those participation, even those self-help groups that could not register yesterday because of the bad law have a right to participate. Yes. And the PBO is about the civic space, not only for NGOs, but the civic space for all Kenyans. Already we are in court, challenging some of the provisions of the PBO Act, including development of regulation without inclusion of the people, the requirements for NGOs to register fresh to become PBOs. We saw the Political Parties Act was amended. We didn't see the political parties being asked to register fresh. Why NGOs? The answer is very simple. The government want to target those NGOs that are critical to it. We are saying that if you're already an NGO and you are already filing your returns, why should the government accept your returns and then want you to register? Does it mean that they are accepting returns from illegal organizations? So what we are saying is that the government should know that the PBO Act came to bring a new environment. And you cannot use the old tactics to bring and use them to manage PBO Act. We also look at the PBO Act. It is limiting, it is removing religious organizations, maybe private institutions. We have even churches in this country who have opened schools, who are serving the public. We have private companies who are serving the public. We want the scope of the PBO Act to be expanded to include everybody and all the groups that are talking about serving the people. And as I finish, I would want to say this. We are looking at public participation. And we have political parties in this country. And as CSRG, what we are going to do is that we want to write to all the political parties across the country. Because if you're a political party and you are being supported by taxpayers' money, because we know there are political parties who are receiving funds from the political parties fund. So whether I'm not a member of that party and you are receiving money from my taxes, you are accountable to the people of Kenya. Yes. Because we have seen, because a political party that cannot conduct free elections cannot form a free and fair government. So as CSRG, we are going to talk about civic space, and the civic space includes the space within the political parties for the members of those parties to decide who is their nominee, to decide who is their chairman, and to decide who is their leader. And we have legal redress. So if you know you are receiving money from taxpayers, we go to parliament, we petition the president because you receive our cash. We shall also be petitioning the political parties to make them discuss issues that are affecting Kenyans. So my colleagues have spoken. We are saying that it won't be business as usual, and we are asking all Kenyans, all the community groups who have not joined CSRG, kindly join the movement to become members for us to liberate this country. We have noted that public participation processes taking place across the country does not conform with the law. There are counties that only organize one public participation meeting in the whole county. So you'd imagine a county like Migori County calling one meeting in Migori town, and somebody from Obera have to walk 60 kilometers to travel to participate. Yes, the act is very clear that the village is the smallest unit. Yes. So those counties that are breaking that, we are coming for you. We shall take you to court. And we shall want to court to interpret to us. When the county government act is saying that the village is smallest unit, why do we have counties like Nairobi County having boroughs, creating structures that do not exist? Having people from all the wards being brought into a physical place. We have petitioned the Senate. We are now compiling a register of all the petitions we have given to the counties. I must say that none of the counties we have petitioned have responded to us. And the law is very clear that they have 21 days to respond. We are going to Senate, because that is the work of Senate to tell us what we should do, because their work is to protect devolution. And devolution means that when the people petition, the act is very clear, we have a right to petition the National Assembly, the Senate, the county government, the county assembly, and the county executive. We have petitioned Trans Nzoia County, Migori County, Kakamega County, Nairobi County, Machakos County, Taita Taveta County, Bungoma. Many counties have been petitioned. None of them has responded to a petition. So we are telling you that it is not going to be business as usual. You have to follow the law or you shape out. Impeachment is not only done by the MCAs, by the way. The MCAs, MPs, senators, we are telling you, you can also be recalled. And we can also institute impeachment. Already there's a matter in court wanting the President of the Republic to undergo a referendum. So the county assemblies, the county executives, the act is very clear about county referendums. We can collect signatures to conduct county referendums on the suitability of the MCAs, of the county governors, and everybody. So don't sit there and think that you are the only ones who can impeach governors. We are coming for you also. If you cannot account for the resources that you are getting, we are also coming for you, and be prepared that you are going home.
Kwa majina ni Silvanus Kasiti kutoka CSRG Nairobi County Forum. Na leo tulikuwa tunafanya Annual General Assembly ya CSRG ambayo pia ilikuwa imeshikamana na uchaguzi. Na uchaguzi umekuwa mzuri. Na first of all, I want to congratulate timu yetu ya IEBC for the work well done. Imetimiza zile minimum requirements zimehitajika kwa constitution kwamba uchaguzi ikuwe free, fair, verifiable, credible, a very simple process, cost effective. Na hizo zote tumeona, tumevote bila gharama mingi. I want to congratulate all the 7 counties ambazo uchaguzi imefanyika. Kwa sababu vote za Nairobi peke yake hazingenipitisha. Nimepata kura overwhelmingly from all the counties, meaning that kuna counties within the country ambazo zinaona zinahitaji kuchange na ziliona kitu ndani yangu yenye naweza kuwasaidia kule kwao, na mimi nawahakikishia kwamba tutashirikiana. So congratulations, and I must also say thank you very much for the support, overwhelming support nimepata across the country kwa sababu ya kuqualify kwa hii post. We are advocating for people power. Na hii docket ambayo mmenipea ya policy and advocacy ina handle hiyo mambo ya policies, regulations, sheria na katiba kwa ujumla. Inatupea sisi wa Kenya what we call the sovereign power, which comes in different forms. Kuna ile haki ya kuamua chakula ya kupanda, chakula ya kukula, ambayo tunaona ni kama serikali inatupokonya. Hatuwezi sema tuko free na watu wengine huko nje ndio wanakuja kuamua ni nini tunapanda. Tuko kwa msimu ya kupanda chakula, lakini sisi kama Wakenya hatuna uhuru wa kutumia mbegu yetu ya kitamaduni. Tunalazimishwa kununua foreign seeds ambazo zinaitwa hybrid, ama sasa kwa lugha ya kisasa GMO seeds. So we need also to reclaim our sovereign power to make sure zile granaries tulikuanga nazo kitambo, zenye zilikuwa ni sign of abundant harvest kutokana na ile traditional seed, pia zimekuwa resurrected. Pia kuna ile sovereignty ambayo inakuja na uhuru wa yale mambo unajua kutekeleza. Wewe uko na knowledge ya kufanya kitu, lakini uko na uoga ya kufanya kwa sababu unaona ukifanya utakuwa unafanya makosa. Hapana, unafaa uwe huru kufanya yale mambo unaamini kwamba haya ndio iko sawa na itabadilisha mahali unaishi na watu wengine kwa ujumla. Pia tuko na uhuru wa environment. Tunaona environment yetu inatumiwa visivyo. Serikali wakati mwingine naamuka tu inafanya mradi mahali ambao mradi hauingiani na matakwa ya watu wa hiyo area. For example, sisi kama Wakenya hatuwezi kuwa tuko na shida ya njaa na tunapanda cash crops, tunapanda maua kwa wingi tukisafirisha. Tunafaa tupande chakula ambayo itamaliza njaa. Hatutaki pesa ndio tununue chakula. Afadhali kwa hiyo mashamba tupande chakula. Tusipande maua tukiuza na chakula hatuna. Ya mwisho ni uhuru wa community. Community sovereignty, every community hata kuanzia zamani na vile tuliumbwa na Mungu iko huru kufanya mambo yao vile iko. Lakini tunaona kupitia kwa Community Registration Act, serikali inajaribu kumicromanage vile communities zinafaa kuwa. Hiyo tutaangazia kwa sababu watu wenye wako pale chini wameshikana na ni self help. Certificate inasema wanajisaidia wenyewe. Why should the government micromanage what it does? Wanaambiwa eti kufundishwa ndio wapate certificate walipe 3,000. Na wao wenyewe wameamua kujiunga tu. Wanataka kusaidia na hakuna usaidizi wanataka kutoka kwa serikali, lakini walipe kwanza 3,000 ndio wajiandike ndio wa qualify kupata certificate ambayo ni 1,000. So tunaona vitu kama hizo ni vitu ambazo zinatatanisha. So tunataka ku-advance total sovereignty ambayo inaguza those 4 areas nimetaja. Hatutashinda tukilaumu. We congratulate those who have been in the forefront kupigania uhuru ambayo tuko nayo, especially Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Ile sacrifices zenye amefanya ndio tumefika mahali tumefika, tunamcongratulate. Lakini mahali tumefika tunamuomba pia tu apumzike na atupee sasa nafasi ya sisi sasa kuchipuka na kufanya mambo ambayo itapeleka Kenya to the next level.
Kwa majina naitwa Evelyn Ados Auma, mimi ni member wa CSRG Kenya na nimefurahi sana kwa election yenye imefanyika leo kwa sababu election imekuwa free and fair. Mimi nilisimama kiti ya finance person, co-finance person na nimefurahi sana kwa sababu nimechaguliwa. Mpinzani wangu alikuwa anatoka Trans Nzoia na alikuwa na kura mingi sana, lakini nashukuru sana kwa sababu wameona naweza fanya hii kazi kama mwanamke. So mimi ni kusema ya kwamba election imenifurahisha. Na kama Kenya inaweza fuata hii mtindo kwa sababu election imekuwa free and fair na kila mtu alikuwa anahesabu kura vile inapigwa. So mimi nimefurahi sana na pia nimefurahi ya kwamba kazi lazima tufanye na lazima tufanye kazi kwa umoja na pia lazima transparency ikue kwa hii kazi ya CSRG kwa sababu sijifanyii mimi mwenyewe, nafanyia Kenya yetu kazi na lazima tufanye kazi kwa uwazi. Kenya mzima inajua vitu ambayo zinafaa tuweke wazi kwa sababu kwa sasa hatuna opposition na pia sisi ndio opposition yenye tumekuja na lazima tusimame na Wakenya ya kuambia Wakenya ya kwamba hii ndio ukweli yenye tunataka kwa sababu tarehe 6 mwezi wa 3 hii mwezi gazeti iligazetiwa ya kwamba serikali inataka another 30 meters na ilishachukua 30 meters. So that is 60 meters away from the river. Na pale kwa mto kuna watu walikuwa naishi, tulikubali serikali ikachukua 30 meters. Ikichukua 30 meters nyingine, mimi kama maskini na nyanyaswa, serikali nihesabu kama binadamu. Kwa sababu tutaenda wapi? Mimi Mathare nikisema 30 meters imechukuliwa, another 30 kichukuliwa, which means Mathare imeisha. So for me na feel like lazima tufanye kazi na lazima tuchukue serikali na pia tuwaulize maswali. Kwa nini hii 30 meters ingine na kwa nini wanafanya hivi? Kwa sababu sisi pia ni watu tunahesabika. Kwa wale tunasema ya kwamba wako kiwango ingine 30 meters hatukuona imechukuliwa. So sisi tena tumerudiwa another 30 meters. So it's very problematic to us na lazima tusimame kama Wakenya. Mimi sisimami kama Ados but nasimama kama Mkenya. Kuongelelea wale wanyonge ambao waezi jiongelelea. It's very painful kwa sababu abduction inafanyika kila wakati na tumeongelelea maneno ya abduction na serikali bado ijaweka mikakati ya abduction kwa sababu sidhani ya kwamba mtu hakona haki ya kuniadapt mimi kwa sababu nimetetea binadamu mwenzangu na sisi wote tuko na haki. Mimi kama mkereketwa nasema ya kwamba kila mtu ako na haki. Hakuna yule ako na haki nusu na mwingine ako na full. So lazima tusimame na pia serikali ni lazima iache kufanya abduction. Pia ambayo tunaweza ongelelea ni maneno ya femicide. We are tired of femicide kwa hii nchi yetu kwa sababu ni mwanamke anauliwa. Hakuna justification for killing kwa sababu kama mwanamke yote hajawachwa kwa hii Kenya hakuwe na haki yake, hata mimi sina ile peacefully kutembea kama mwanamke kwa sababu sijui nini itanifanyikia na sijui hao watu wanauana ni wakina nani na wale wamepatikana ambao wamefanya mauaji bado serikali hajachukua hatua kwao. So for me na feel like government is still inaturudisha nyuma kwa ukoloni kwa sababu kama mtu amepatikana ameua mtu inafaa achukuliwe hatua haraka iwezekanavyo.
Okay, my name is Susan Owiti. I can say today's elections have been free and fair. We've been campaigning and finally we had the elections today. Being elected as the co-convener for Mutual Protection Nairobi County, we are going to ensure that the issues of disappearance, extrajudicial killings, the issues of femicide come to an end because we have seen a lot of violence taking place within our countries. We have seen people disappearing, and as CSRG we are going to ensure that we address such issues. We are going to ensure that the public participation is taking place. We are going to ensure that the government now is doing the work they are supposed to do to ensure that everybody is included.
My name is David Ndungu. I've been elected as Deputy County Convener, Nairobi County. I am much grateful. The next agenda is to make sure that we are the next opposition in this country.
Viva! Viva!
Because we understand that the actual opposition has gone to the bedroom with the government. We want to make sure that all agendas of public participation, the issue of gender-based violence have been down.
Kwa majina yangu ni Faith Mwangi kutoka Nairobi County, Nairobi CSRC convener. Na viva comrades, viva!
Viva!
Uchaguzi imekuwa ngumu. Hata tujalala tukifikiria vile na kustrategize vile tutashinda hii kiti. Now we want to thank God and thank the teams as they are, kwa sababu nimeweza kushinda na tumeweza kushinda. Ushindi wangu ni ushindi wa timu yote kama Nairobi convener. Viva comrades, viva!
Viva!
Na ningetaka kusema ya kwamba saa hii ndio tumeanza kazi. Na tutadeal na mambo ya corruption, public participation, na issues za gender-based violence, femicide. We shall come to you head straight. We shall not allow corruption to continue when we can be able to do something.